2004, history was made in San Francisco when the nation's first gay marriage licenses were issued. 12 days later, George Bush announced support for a federal marriage amendment that would put anti-gay marriage into the U.S. Constitution.
Activist judges and local officials have made an aggressive attempt to redefine marriage. We are to prevent the meaning of marriage from being changed forever. Our nation must enact a constitutional amendment to protect marriage in America.
Suddenly, gay Republicans were forced towards a decision they did not want to make. What was more important, being gay or being Republican?
He made a cold, calculated political decision. It's all about electoral politics. It's all about satisfying the people on the far right. And that day, George W. Bush decided who his friends are and who his friends are not. He did not pick me to be his friend.
George W. Bush lives his life by morals and his convictions, and it is his personal belief that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Why did you do that, Mr. President? Why did you support the federal marriage amendment? You can see how emotional I become even now about it. Why did you do this to us? This goes to the core of who we are. And for the president to propose institutionalized discrimination against gay people when he had gay people standing up in support of his reelection, I mean, just cut the knees out right from under us. And we don't know what we're going to do.
4 years earlier, Log Cabin had been optimistic about George W. Bush.
I welcome gay Americans into my campaign.
Their endorsement had helped him win a huge chunk of the gay vote, including an estimated 45,000 in the tie-break state of Florida.
I'm mindful that we're all God's children.
After 4 years in office, Bush was counting on a more specific group of God's children, the evangelical Christians, and the estimated 4 million extra votes the marriage amendment might shake out of them.
We've launched this unprecedented campaign because the exclusion and discrimination embodied in the proposed constitutional amendment violates the principles upon which the Republican Party was founded.
On March 10th, Log Cabin struck back, launching an unprecedented $1 million national ad campaign in the election-sensitive swing states.
People should be free to enter into any kind of relationship they want to enter into.
The ad strategically used the words of Dick Cheney to send a message to Bush, but it did not stop the split that was developing in Log Cabin.
I thought that was a brilliant strategy.
What was the reasoning for it to run in swing states? Was the purpose of this to elect John Kerry president?
It's like the Warsaw Ghetto. You know, they didn't expect the gay people to fight back, and now we're fighting back.
On April 16th at the Log Cabin Annual Convention in Palm Springs, there was a definite charge in the air.
All my Democrat friends love to come to Log Cabin Republican conventions because we have far much more fun than they ever do. Democrats, claim that they're fun, but they're actually quite boring at night. Through this organization, I have met really a lot of nice people, good people. It's more or less like a fraternity. It's the same kind of concept. You're all just good friends.
It's funny, I told friends that I was coming to Palm Springs. They were like, the White Party? And I said, no, the Log Cabin Republican Convention. And they said, oh, the really White Party.
When I first got involved with LCR, it appeared to be all the rich boys and the club and the conversation about where they were going to go that night and what kind of difference they might be able to make with their money.
The demographic profile is overwhelmingly male and overwhelmingly older.
Why aren't there more women? Why aren't there people of color? And that, I don't have any answers to that.
At the present time, I'm the only female impersonator in the Log Cabin. Or at least the only female impersonator who's out. As a matter of fact, the Log Cabin has a more straightforward, wholesome look. The boy next door. Well, I'm not exactly the girl next door, but I still fit.
At the dinner last night, there was a George Bush impersonator there to entertain us.
That's a great welcome for a bunch of guys who I understand don't like Bush.
Everyone had fun with it. It was great fun.
I find that so degrading, and I thought it was in really poor taste that the log cabin group did have that.
But I want you to know, this war was not about oil and the price of oil. It was about the price of gasoline.
George Bush is brilliant, you know. I've been very, very fortunate to meet with him on several occasions privately. He's very warm and welcoming. Yeah, he does have nicknames, no question about it, for everybody.
What's his nickname for you?
Soldier. Hey, soldier. Yes, sir.
Things turned serious when the organization held a debate to air views on whether or not to endorse Bush.
I resent being put in this position in 2004, today, when I thought this was over with.
This issue has galvanized the club. It has split it.
I'm on the Bush steering committee. I am going to vote for the president. Yeah, I'm disappointed.
I think everyone's first inclination is, of course, we want to endorse the president. But at some point, we all have to decide what does our organization stand for.
He has basically decided that he wants to use gay people as a political tool to generate hate to get people to vote.